Hello wonderful people, it's me Angie. This is episode 2 in my 6-part series, Fluent in a Week. So, Portuguese. This is going to be how you apply my technique of learning languages to a romantic language, a language with an alphabet, a European language for example. I just want to give you guys some quick context on my relationship and history with Portuguese. So, when I was in year 4, so 2012, I was watching an online series. I think it was kind of like a dance series. It was like a teen series basically, and it was with subtitles. It was Portuguese. I think it was actually Brazilian, and I got to season 3 or 4 and there were no more subtitles, and I was like, 1, I'm emotionally invested in this. 2, I have no social life. 3, I'm a huge geek. What do we do? Instead of going somewhere else to find subtitles, we're gonna learn Portuguese. And then I think I used Duolingo and I got to a pretty good level of Portuguese, because I remember I watched season 4 or season 3, whichever was the final season, and I was completely fine. After that, I never used Portuguese. I never actually spoke Portuguese because I was just learning it to hear it and understand the series. And then at the start of this year, my resolution was to be fluent in Portuguese. For 1 month, I did 4 hours of Portuguese. That's it. And I got to a pretty good standard because I already speak French and Spanish. But other than that, my Portuguese is gone. I can still remember things that I memorized, like Oi, tudo bem? O meu nome é Antola. Não falo bem português, mas no futuro quero aprender mais. And that's about it. Like, I can't really remember how to say anything. I think Mina means my, but in this episode we're gonna learn Portuguese. So let's jump to day 1. We're taking a different approach. To Korean it was a bit more blase, like, yeah, I kind of know what I'm gonna do. I have a plan this time. I wrote it down. If you haven't already seen episode 1 or 2, I recommend you at least go and see episode 1 so you know what is going on in this series and the 8 chunks of a language to help you get fluent. I go through all the definitions, all my plans, all my goals, so you go check that out. Let's go through, and let me just tell you what I'm going to do quickly. I am doing medical work experience, so I don't know how much time I'm realistically going to have in a day, but out of the 3 languages I'm doing this series, Portuguese is the one where I expect to do the best, okay? I did it in the past, I could speak it in the past. It's similar to English, it's similar to languages I already speak, and you know, if I guess, a lot of the things I guess are right from Spanish and French. So, God willing, we should be busting out Portuguese. If you see the end of my Korean video, I'm talking but I'm still a bit broken, so I'm conjugating in my head on the spot. With Portuguese, we have to be more fluent. So, what am I going to do for reading? I'm going to change the language of my phone. Brazilian Pod 101 for listening comprehension, and obviously music to immerse myself. For writing, I'm going to probably do some questions from higher tier GCSE Portuguese. I don't have any Brazilian or Portuguese pen pals. I do have friends who speak the language, but like, we speak English together normally. For speaking, something that I did for Spanish that worked really well is I'm going to try and learn how to rap in Portuguese, because if you can rap in a language, that means you can speak it quickly, and that means, you know, it's easier for you. And I know that a lot of people, for example, who learn French and Korean do this a lot because it really helps you with like moving your mouth to make the right shapes. Quizlet for vocab, as always. I'm going to focus on the first 100 words and the first 1,000 words. And then for grammar, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm thinking YouTube. For culture, I'm going to check out YouTube. Oh no, for grammar, if you search up Korean language, Portuguese language, blah blah language, PDF textbook, a bunch of free PDF textbooks come up, and you know, that's what we're going to do for Portuguese. I think I've already found some. And for translation, I'm going to translate songs. Now we've done this intro, let's get to the video. So for culture, I found this really amazing British Brazilian lady who just broke down a bunch of things about the culture, which was really useful. For translation, I translated Señorita by Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes. I thought it'd be quite easy because I really needed to learn reflexive verbs, and there's a lot of reflexives in this. Oh gosh, gosh, my head. What's going on? Hello. Oi, tudo bem? It's day 2. Have I done anything? No, I didn't really understand how exhausted I would be from this medical rotation, especially yesterday. I had a longer day yesterday. I was just on my feet all day. I was trying to wear like formal shoes instead of trainers or whatever, so I was just in pain when I came back. And you know, today I got sent off an hour early because the meeting finished quickly, so I'm gonna sit down and just do maybe 1 or 2 hours of intense Portuguese. What I'm going to do is decide what tenses I want to learn and go through them. That should take a few minutes because I'm hoping that most of the grammatical rules are the same as French, Spanish. For vocabulary, I've been kind of going through a little bit of vocabulary, and I think the main issue is spelling rather than saying it, because I've been guessing a lot of things, educated guessing, and I've gotten it right. And for culture, that's the one thing that I'm trying to work out how I'm going to learn about, but I've got a bunch of websites that I know that I used back in the day, so I just have to try and find them. But yeah, let's get to this like Portuguese. Okay, because I'm always doing time-lapse,
How are your Portuguese listening?
make this sis be quiet. I thought that I would bring you guys with me for one of these listening exercises. I'm just going through the absolute beginner ones right now. I think I'll... Do you guys... I don't even know, man. I don't want to time-lapse too much, but yeah, let me show you what I'm doing.
Está lendo o seu diário. Qual foi a primeira coisa que o menino fez esse dia?
Estava um tempo bem gostoso hoje. Eu fui para a piscina à tarde e fui ver um filme à noite. Eu também estudei de manhã. Foi um dia muito bom.
Qual foi a primeira coisa que o menino fez esse dia?
So this is just a listening comprehension, and it's giving me an excerpt from someone's diary. They are just telling me what he did, and basically the answer is the first thing he did today was study in the morning. So yeah, I'm gonna do 21 of these. This is number 5. So for speaking, I am gonna do the normal speaking questions that I did in Korean in Portuguese. Right now I'm just going through some basic vocabulary, like the months, for example, and putting them into simple sentences. So like, mio aniversario è no novembro. And one thing, I will try and find the YouTuber I found this from. I think he's called Luke or something. He's also a polyglot, and a really good tip that him and a lot of other people have said actually, so credit to all of them, is that when you learn vocabulary, learn it in context. Don't just learn that, I don't know, chicken means chicken. Learn it in a context of, some people like eating chicken but vegetarians don't. Like, put it in context, and that also helps you with learning grammar. So yeah, that is a good tip. It is currently day 4, I think, and I've not really done that much, so I'm just going to be beast moding day 6 and 7 because yeah, this medical placement has got me working crazy hours. So for vocabulary, it is key to note that I also used Quizlet, and for speaking, I recorded myself speaking. I don't know if you guys really want to hear me speaking Portuguese. I think the accent is pretty difficult because I see it and I want to use a Spanish accent, and I have to hit myself and say, no, that is wrong. That's not how you pronounce R's or D's or anything. Get your act together. But yeah, for grammar, I just looked at, for example, lectures and YouTube videos and things like that to help me out, and just Google. So for writing, I just used the GCSE OCR Portuguese papers to just practice essay writing, but in general, I think if you follow me on Instagram, go follow me, you will see that I have been writing my journal entries in Portuguese to help me with everyday vocab. Okay, basically I've not done as much as I wanted to do today because I'm being watched by a seagull. I've been doing my MOOC work, and basically I thought, on top of everything else I'm doing, let's make this more interesting and try to follow a makeup routine in Portuguese without obviously watching the video. So yeah, that's just to test myself, because honestly, because I find Portuguese somewhat easy because of my experience with French and Spanish, I want to push myself, because if you don't push yourself, I'm gonna close my window before I get attacked. If you don't push yourself, then obviously you don't improve, because at the edge of your comfort zone is where you make the biggest moves. I'm scared of seagulls.
Oi meninas, tudo bem? Aqui é a Tammy e hoje eu venho com um tutorial super diferente para vocês, especial para a pele negra. Muita gente tem dificuldade de maquiar a pele negra e a intenção do tutorial de hoje é deixar essa pele super de gringa, perfeita, iluminada naturalmente, gente.
Natural glow. I also wanted to let you guys know that I watched Ratatouille. I've been craving to watch Ratatouille, the Disney movie, and I watched it in Portuguese. Interesting. It was just a weird experience, but yeah, that's something else I've done. You don't need to see me doing my makeup, so...
A modelo linda de hoje é a Thalita. Bom, a modelo já está com a pele limpa.
Hi, I'm a really good YouTuber and I didn't film the end of that or take any pictures, so this is my outro. Share this with people who want to learn languages. In case you haven't seen episode 1, in this series I show how to apply my 8-step plan for learning languages, 2 different types of languages. The 8 podiums will be explained and the entire method will be broken down in the last episode, and essentially I explain why I chose certain podiums and tips for them. So culture, translation, they're not the first thing most people think they need to learn. However, they're very important and I explain why. I also want to, before we close this video, point out something. I've been getting a lot of comments saying, do you even sleep? You always look tired, blah blah blah. I just have really small eyes apparently, and like maybe that makes me look tired. I don't really know, because sometimes I'm really hyper, and yeah, I just don't open my eyes that wide. Like, this is quite creepy and quite scary. I don't know. I thought my eyes were normal. But yeah, I've been getting a lot of comments on that. Probably from a good place of like concern, so I thought I'd let you know I'm okay. I'm good. But yeah, as always, make sure you wonderful people smile, subscribe, study hard, slay hard, stay healthy, and I will see you again very, very soon. Bye.